Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. We are so excited to have you for Job Seeker Spotlight. I missed you, my friend Liz. Liz was not able to join last week, but we're happy to have you back this week. I think the audience is going to be happy that they don't have to listen to me drone on and on and on too. But how have you been? Have you had a
Great. I know, missed you guys too, and miss everyone. And great to be back. It's been a busy week. So yeah, I know for you too, Ira, it's been super busy. So
look, we have two people in the audience that I know are going to jump on the show today. We've got John Roach. John Roach, in full disclosure, somebody I met a long time ago when I was working in Texas, but we actually were co-workers together in the Bay Area.
Oh, awesome.
So he's going to be on the show. He wants to do, an introduction with us, for a video. And then also our friend Mariella, who is here in Santa Barbara. So California's in the house ready to make some videos, y'all. So that's coming up. I'm going to post the link in just a second. If this is your first time watching the show, I do want to kind of have an explanation for those like first time watchers, Liz. So if you can let them know what's the show about and what are we doing here, then I'll...
Yep, we are here. And Mariella, great to see you again. And we are here to help you as job seekers try to navigate the whole process, how to ways that you can help to stand out amongst all the other people job seeking, tools and tips and strategies for all of that. So I hope you guys will find it helpful.
Yeah. So, that's really what we're doing here. We're trying to help you guys. Job seekers want a job. Employers want to hire people. So we're trying to help put you guys together. That's really what we're doing. The show is not about Liz or Ira, although we appreciate you following us and encouraging us along as we go, not only on the show, but throughout the week. I've noticed people that watch the show tend to also be in my comments throughout the week. And hopefully they're doing the same thing for you, Liz. So
yeah,
we appreciate that. But this is us helping you. We do it in one of two ways. We invite everybody, we encourage everybody to come on the show, be on the show with us on camera. What are we going to do? We're going to do just a brief interview that you can then take and cut out. And if you need help with that, let me know. But we can take, you can cut that out and put that in your LinkedIn profile on the featured section. Make it the very first thing. Mm-hmm. So we're going to ask you, like, where are you from? What do you do? What are you looking for? And it'll give these recruiters and these employers an opportunity to get to know your personality and see how you would, potentially interact with them in their environment. We've talked about culture, and culture, one of the number one things that always makes everybody nervous when they hire is, how is this new hire going to affect the culture that I already have in place? If it's a good culture, they don't want to ruin it. And if it's a toxic culture, they want to see if you can help them fix it. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
So being on video is so helpful because you can get, look, I hired 2 new people to join Bowman Digital this week, and I had to interview people because you just don't know, right? I got, I think 200 applications.
Wow.
I put it on LinkedIn. I put it on Project Help You Grow. I got 200 in like almost the first day. It wasn't quite the first day, but I had to turn them off.
Yeah.
That's
a great, I know. It's a great response. Yeah.
How do you know who to hire? Well, some of these people I'd seen before. I'd engaged with them on social media before, so that helped, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, one of the people that I hired.
Oh, amazing.
I brought him in today, right? So he's brand new to the team.
Awesome.
And also, Ingor.
Yes, Ingor, yes.
I brought Ingor on.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
So, and then I've had a few other people that I'm like, look, these guys are going to be the main people that I'm going to hire, but I'm going to have a backup roster for like when I get overflow. So I am going to go through the other people that have applied.
Yeah.
Get to a couple and go, hey, if you're willing to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you. It just gets to the point where we need people, but
I know.
It highlights what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, totally. Amazing.
You can get overwhelmed so fast as a recruiter, or as maybe not so much the recruiters. You guys are probably used to it, but for somebody like me, I'm running a business. Like, that's not what I do all day. I don't have an ATS. You know, I just put up the ad and then my email started to blow up. I was like,
wow.
oh my goodness, I don't have time. I wasn't expecting that kind of a response.
Wow. And that's a good point, because that's what really takes up that's so much time, like vetting, going through and you know, just assessing those is like, can be at least a whole day at least. Yeah.
No doubt about it. It's been more than that. It's been like, honey, are you coming to bed? I'm like, I don't know if I get to.
Yeah.
I got to get this off my plate. I need to get the people from candidates to on board so we can get rolling. I've already sent I have his first assignment. Like, he's already got a job, you know, from me to do.
Yeah.
So I'm working on
amazing.
First blog, and Ingor too. So
excited about Ingor. Yes. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Ingor and I were actually just talking. She's like, can I get it to you this weekend? And I'm like, yeah. That's what's beautiful about my content creation team is, you know, we don't run like a Monday through Friday 8 to 5 o'clock. So, you know, she's obviously got other stuff that she's doing for her other clients. So, you know, she's gonna do my stuff after hours on the weekends. That's totally fine. I told Wahab the same thing. I'm like, you know, he's like, how fast do I need to get this done? And I said, you know, I'm paying you to write good content. If it takes you an hour, it takes 3 days. I don't care. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
I love that, Ira. The flexibility and you know, as long as you get the job done, you can do it. Love that. That's great.
It's a new world. I get paid for results. My clients pay me to increase their visibility, right? And help them with their SEO and all these things. So whether it's the writing or the videos that we make or the websites that we make, I mean, everything that we do is to help increase visibility. So
yeah. So as long as you can deliver on that, it's
this is Tammy. I was looking at said LinkedIn user, but sometimes we see this, what it is, in case you guys are curious, like, why does it say LinkedIn user and not the person's name? Tammy, this is you in this case, but there's a permissions-based thing that you would do on LinkedIn, and you would open it up to let it share with third parties like Google.
I see. Yeah.
So if you turn that on, then when you come on stuff like this, everybody can see you. It's important when LinkedIn, people can Google your LinkedIn stuff, and I think that's such an advantage if you let them. That I don't know why anybody would want to shut that down. So most of what it is the default. You have to go turn it on.
Oh,
so go through your profile permissions and turn everything on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially for job seekers. Yeah. Right. You want to be found. You want to,
Right. We're not trying to hide here. We're trying to be discovered, right? Which is why you come on the show. So I'm going to do this. Now, I wanted to run a new segment with you, and I think you're ready for it, but we didn't come up with the name.
I know we did. We need to come up with
So you think about that, but not right now.
Right.
We're going to do the segment whether we have a name or not, if you have some, right? But what it'll be, just for these watching, it's going to be like 5 minutes, Liz giving a power tip of the week or something that she's observed with her clients throughout the week that you guys can then take and maybe learn and apply. And we'll make a graphic with it. We'll make it fun. I might even have some music for it. We'll do something cool.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But, you know, we're still working this. We're still working this thing out. So, anyways, that's going to come up. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the invite link. So y'all, if you guys want to come on, like John and Mariella, I know want to come on the show. So to join us here. And what it will do is it'll take you to the green room. So I'll be able to see you in the green room. You won't be on stage with us live. What I want you to do when you get in the green room is turn the sound off on your LinkedIn show and just engage with us here on this StreamYard software. Otherwise, remember in the old days, you would call the radio station and they would tell you turn your radio down because there was an echo. It does kind of the same thing. There's a little bit of a delay in what you see and what we are recording live because it's a rebroadcast basically. Even though it's live, it's like 30-second delay. So do that. Oh, we got a suggestion by Mariella this week by Liz.
I like that, Mariella.
Mariella comes up with some good stuff. So anyways, Mariella, just jump on the show. I know you want to jump in.
Yeah.
So here's the link. You would click on that. It'll take you to the green screen and we'll come. The other thing that we do, Liz, each and every week, we actually do this more. So she's in already.
Oh, good.
hang on a second, Mario. I'm gonna bring you on in just 1 second. So the other thing that we do, because people are sometimes camera shy, so we do profile reviews. We do them for free. So what we do, and we've done this for Mariella several times now.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll bring up usually it's the LinkedIn profile. We'll bring it up and we'll give you some input on things you can do to make it better, so that when an employer or a recruiter would see it, they're more likely to actually go through it and not go, next, right?
Right.
The average profile view on LinkedIn, 6.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Not enough to get hired. So you got to hook them, set that hook. I'm actually going fishing. I'm going deep sea fishing tomorrow for the first time in my life.
Oh, what fun. Wow. Where are you going?
My wife, for Father's Day, bought me a ticket to go deep sea fishing with my boys.
Oh, fun.
So my boys and I are going to go out of Newport tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be on the boat at 5:30 in the morning.
5:30 a.m.? Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow.
My teenage son, he's 16 still. No, he's 17. He just turned 17. Yeah. He's like, Dad, I don't want to get up that early. I'm like, well, you could sleep in the car on the way, I guess. I don't usually get up that early either. So
right. That's so fun, Ira.
I'm a night owl. I will stay up all night long. In fact, sometimes I won't go to bed, but I don't get up at 3 in the morning usually ever. So
yeah.
Mariella, my friend, how are you?
Hello. Hi, Liz.
Hi. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you in person too.
I
John
know.
is updating his browser, and it's okay, John. We're gonna do Mariella's interview here first, anyways. So we're here. We're always here for at least an hour. Sometimes Liz and I, because I don't shut up, we run long.
Yeah.
You always have amazing information and share new knowledge with us, and this cannot be paid or repaid. It's amazing what you guys do.
Oh,
yeah, we try.
Thank you.
I brought someone smarter than me on the show to help with that too, so that helps.
I was gonna say something about you. I need your marketing and because ultimately, guys, as you know, Ira, it's a sales process when you're looking for a job. You're selling yourself, which is not always easy to do. So it's really, we're a good team because Ira on the marketing and branding and myself on the candidate side. So combined, you're selling yourself, which is not always, and it's not easy to do for a candidate, but.
So Brady here is talking about my deep sea fishing, and in full disclosure, Brady and I go to church together.
Oh.
In fact, he is my partner. We run the audio visual for the church.
Oh.
So he's my partner. Anyways, Brady, the company that they use, I forget what it's called, Davies Locker or something like that. My wife contacted our pastor's wife, and that's the company I'm going with. So that's where the idea came. That's where the idea came from. So I've always wanted to do it. I just have never had an opportunity to do it. So now.
Yeah, that's so great. Oh, you have a great.
I'm excited about everything but the start time, man. That's
well.
In full disclosure, I live about an hour away from there, and they said the boat takes off, leaves the port at 6:30, but they're like, you need to be on the boat an hour before.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, but then
you won't sleep at all that night.
I know. I got to park too, and I'm thinking, all right. But anyways, it'll be fun though.
Yeah. Hey, if you're able to, Ira, take pictures. So you may not be able to. I don't know.
Y'all know I'm going to take pictures. Come on.
Good. So we want to see the pictures. Yeah, we want to see those.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. So let's do this, Marielle. We're gonna ask you a series of questions. So Liz, we'll just alternate questions so it'll be, interactive. But we don't want to do anything like too heavy. We're just doing like surface level stuff, a little bit of get to know you. I know that Mariella is one of the people that does have to, unfortunately, deal with ageism. That's one of the obstacles, honestly. Because what has it been, Mariella? 32 and 32?
Yes.
So she's applying to jobs and she's not even getting a response because. So one of the questions I want to ask you, Mariella, just so you're ready, is can you give me a 5-year? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You're going to get that a lot of times. But as I tell people that I'm helping with this topic, that is one of the objectives, or one of your objectives should be to make them comfortable that you're going to be working for at least 5 more years, because they're thinking it. You know, are you even going to be working in 5 years?
I will be working in 15 years. And
yeah. So
where I see myself is, believe it or not, I want to invest my thoughts into helping companies with risk and with fraud.
Save it for the answer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start like we're starting like fresh, right? Because I want to have a clean. This is one of my video things. Like I want to have a clean start and a clean stop to this part, so that it just flows naturally. All right. So for everybody, pretend like you don't know who Mariella is, and she just got on. All right, you ready, Liz?
Yep, ready.
Mariella, welcome to our show. Liz and I are happy to have you here today. We're going to take the next 5 minutes and just do a quick interview and get to know you a little bit better. Is that okay?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to be on with both of you.
Awesome. So we're just going to alternate questions. Liz, ladies first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. Wonderful to meet you, Mariella. So this is a very standard question that you've probably had. So tell me about yourself.
I was born and raised in Greece. I speak 5 languages. I am passionate to help companies with fraud and chargebacks and risk elements. And as the day we live proves, it's getting worse and worse. All the dangers for a company are always 5 steps ahead of us. So we have to keep learning, and I want to help business owners keep their hard-earned revenue.
5 languages, Mariella.
Yes, sir.
That is impressive. Can you tell me what 5 languages you speak?
Greek, English, German, French, and Italian.
Wow.
I burned my question, Liz. It's your turn. Sorry.
Yes. No. Amazing. Amazing. And so what is it about this company and why do you want to work here?
I know that you have a lot of clients. I know that you're losing revenue due to fraud and chargebacks, and bots don't do the work alone. An experienced professional with automation can do wonders for your company. The last company I worked for was losing about 20 million a year. They had a 19% loss in chargebacks. I brought it down to 0.3. And my aim is to help any company out there do the same.
Yeah. Okay. So you're obviously in a technical space. How did you get into fraud and risk protection in the first place? What was the genesis of your?
It was a friend of mine who created a company named FastSpring, and we dove into it head first. And since I'm a puzzle solver as a kid, I love to put all these dots together. Why did this person buy that and then email me a claim that they didn't buy it? Or why did this person buy something, but the hacker got the product? So it's like a very tight web that you have to go through. And I will tell you a small example in 10 seconds or less. When I say that risk and fraud people should have their own space in a company, in the beginning, everybody was laughing until a coworker hacked my computer. He was fired. I won't name names. And then they realized, because we deal with third party, I'm looking at your credit card, Ira, or yours, Liz, and why was it hacked? I can't have other employees walk around my desk and look.
Wow.
Wow.
Liz, I think it's your turn.
Yeah. So, Ten, this is again, Mariella, another sort of very common question, but always good to practice, strengths and weaknesses and examples around both.
My strength is that I don't care if I work at night, at day, at Christmas, at summer, because fraud happens 24/7. So I don't expect my boss or the company that hires me to think, oh, she's going to work 9 to 5, and then what if a disaster happens? No. Right. This is a position, it's not a normal employee. My weakness is when my bosses have closed ears. When I say there is a danger coming, and then they say, oh, you're overreacting, and then it happens, my character says, I never like to tell my boss, told you. That's my weakness. I like to interact with people who, why did you hire me in the first place?
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm
To
glad you said
support
that.
and help.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Mariela, because my question is pretty straightforward. If you, actually, let me rephrase it. What is a characteristic or a quality of the company that you definitely want to have to go work for? Like a large company, international company, a small company. They maybe specialize with certain type of clients. Like, do you have like something, a characteristic that you would be looking for in your next?
Right now, I would like to help startups because they are not as easy as it was 5 and 10 years ago, and they have a lot of obstacles. And I would like to be there from the beginning to set a nice cement there so we can go to the next step and the next step.
Okay, as a follow-up, if I can,
please,
would you be willing to work for a startup or maybe a company that services startups? So either or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Fantastic. So, Mariela, tell me something about yourself that's not on your resume. What do you do outside of work, whether it's volunteer work or hobbies, or tell me something that's about yourself that's not on your resume.
I talk a lot on the Greek radio. I am invited. Oh. Yes. Wow. And well, I think I can tell that. My cousin is Greece's prime minister. I come from that background. I was the black sheep of my family because I wanted nothing to do with politics. So I fell in love with a musician and moved to America. I became a citizen, of course, but I love sharing what we go through day to day here and how life is. I speak 3 times a week on Greek radio shows, and I love it.
Wow. Amazing.
All right. My final question for you, Mariela, is tell me what you... Let's look into the crystal ball. 5 years later, what are you doing? Tell me a little bit about where you're at and what you're doing in 5 years.
I will have learned so much more about fraud and about all these hacks that happen today that I hope to have created a product for the next 20 years to share with companies that need help. I'm not even ready to think about the word R, retirement. No. At least another 15, 20 years. In it, to win it, to fight it.
Okay. All right. Liz, any final questions for Mariela?
Amazing. I would ask this. Do you have any questions, for us? So always be prepared, as you probably know, Mariela, to ask questions at the end as the interview is closing. So any questions for myself and doing the research or the due diligence for those questions?
Yes. What made you hire or open a position like mine?
Yeah.
What are the obstacles you are facing that you're looking to solve?
It's a great question. Mm-hmm. It's a great question. And I always ask this, I ask a question this way when I was an employee, was what can I do to make your life when you hire me better?
Easy.
Right? And it's funny, in all the years that I interviewed people, Liz, I don't know that I ever got asked that question. But like most people don't think about it, the employers are putting up these jobs because they have a problem they need solved. Mm-hmm. Even the people that I just hired, in the interview that I did, nobody asked me that. They were asking me about the tasks that they would have to do and how much time it would take and, things like that. But nobody asked me, hey, what can I do to make your life easier, Ira? But that's okay. But if you ask that question as a job seeker, you probably see somebody fall out of their chair with a smile on their face. I bet.
That's exactly. That's a great question, Mariela. That is, you nailed it with that, because you always have to put yourself in the employer, the hiring manager's position, and understand, what their challenges are. It's not about you. It's about how you want to put it on them. How can you help them and solve their challenge? So you nailed it perfectly. Yeah.
And if I may, because it never stops, and I'm always learning, today, Chipotle was hacked.
Oh, really?
Their entire marketing server, and they are sending phishing emails to all their clients.
Awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
Ironically, we were just talking about going to Chipotle for dinner last night on the way home from church. So there you go. We'll
Wow.
title
Cash only.
Cash only. Oh gosh, that's so scary, Mariella. That is very scary.
Marla, thank you so much for coming on our show. We hope this helps. I hope to see this video in the feature section of your profile really soon. And if you need help with it, you know a guy who will do it for you.
Thank you. And really quick, where do I find this?
So where you find it is either on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. So there you go.
We will put it up. Perfect.
Okay. It's always up. Yeah, the videos are always up. So the show goes live, and then it stays on all those platforms. You can view it, so you can download it. If you, like I said, if you need help, I'll help you.
I might. Thank you so much. Wonderful to meet you and talk to you in person, Liz. Thank you, Ira.
You too, Mariella.
So much.
And I'm going to share your LinkedIn profile in just a second, so people can, if they want to reach out to you now that you've been on here talking about fraud protection, maybe a recruiter, an employer who has a position available, now that they know you want to work for another 15 years, maybe they'll want to give you a shot. There you go.
Thank you both so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Greek, Italian, English,
German.
French, German. Wow, that's super impressive.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mariella.
Thanks, Mariella.
All right, that is Mariella Stockmall. She is in Santa Barbara, California, if you're wondering where she resides. I met her in person the other day, Liz.
Oh, wow.
I was coming back down from my in-laws' home in the Bay Area, and I thought, you know what? It will take me a few more hours to go through, to go down 101 and Highway 1 through Santa Barbara than it would if I just go straight down 5. But I said, how often do you get to meet, your good friends? And Mariella is somebody that she helps me at Bowman Digital Media with my fraud and risk.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. Yeah,
she's somebody that obviously I want to help, but she's also somebody that I wanted to get to know. I made the logo. She talked about her husband, Steve. Her husband, Steve, is a musician. I made his logo for him, and I made an infographic for him. So it's just a lot of fun. It is cool to meet people in person, but here she is. So if y'all want to meet her, she's been on the show before as far as did you see who's in the audience? Speak of the devil.
Oh,
I was just telling people that I hired you to be on my content writing team. So I'm excited to work with you now.
Maybe Inger can join us live.
Yeah, Inger, if you want to come on the show. Here is the Liz. Sorry, I always have to do this. Find Mariella here. Oops, I hit enter, but I didn't actually put the link. Sorry, I'm really smart. Okay. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, find Mariella here, but no link. So
there it is. We got it. It's all right. Well, good.
Yeah.
Feels like a Friday today.
I can't type and talk at the same time. I don't know what it is.
I woke up this morning. I could have sworn it was Friday. It's just been a very busy week. I'm like, oh wait, it's not Friday, but it feels like a lot going on. So
I'm a part of the group. I'm a part of a group. It's a networking group. It's not a social media networking group. It's just an old-fashioned networking group called High Rise.
Oh.
And High Rise has what they call vertical meetings throughout the month. And I was freaking out because I thought the marketing vertical meeting was today, and I'd spaced it. And I don't want to do that. I really like being a part of that group. Anyways, so I was happy when I figured out that I was just out of my mind.
Right.
A totally different day. It's next Monday. Today it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Not the right week, not the right day of the week.
Yeah. My calendar gets insane. Today it's one of those days. It was like nonstop, and I was like, okay, it must be Friday, but we're almost.
I got a note from John. John wants to come on the show, but he can't get the video thing to work. So John, that's okay. We'll be here next week.
Yeah, next week we'll do it. Yeah.
But I can personally vouch for John. In fact, in full disclosure, when I went from Texas, I moved back to California. The company that I worked for was California Surveying and Drafting Supply. And I knew John. He was the general manager for a blueprint shop in the Bay Area. And, blueprint shops are kind of going by the wayside because it's outdated. It's really outdated. You know, the plans are mostly done electronically now, not printed. So he was looking for work. I went to the owner of the company that I work for and said, we got to hire this guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I got him. Well, I'll say I started the conversation. I won't say I got him hired. I don't know.
That's awesome. But
anyways, I was like, yeah, we gotta bring this guy on. So anyways, he says he will have it figured out by next week, and we are happy to have you.
We are. Yes. I'm so excited to meet him, and congrats on helping him get that job. That's amazing. That's exactly how it works, Ira. You know, it's the whole job searching, fine to apply and do that. But when you just mentioned, when you have a referral, someone can recommend you in is just so much more powerful, as you know.
Oh yeah. Well, no, there's no doubt about it. And I think actually they gave me a referral fee too. I don't remember if they did or not, honestly, but I think they did. I think they gave me a little something. I was like, that's cool. I mean, I don't need that. That's not why I did it, but
yeah,
it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we don't have anybody asking for a profile review yet. John, did you want us to do that for you? Again, guys, we do two different things on the show. We have people on. Oh, it's his network connection. No. He's saying network connection is what it's all about. 100%. That's why I do social media networking and traditional networking, because almost all of my clients come from people I've either worked with directly or people that I've met networking. Almost all of them. I don't spend any money in advertising. I don't spend it for Project Help You Grow. I don't spend it for Bowman Digital Media, but I do network. And the networking is,
same
huge help.
Oh my gosh, it is. It's so powerful. Same on my end. It's all networking, referral based. It's So
I'm going to bring up John's. I'm going to bring up his LinkedIn profile. Since he can't come on the show physically, but he's cool with having us do.
Yeah. Hopefully next week he can. He can do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So he's in the San Francisco Bay Area. He lives in what they call the peninsula. So that's the region that he lives in. But I like this, John, right out of the gate, because that is the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. And certainly anybody in our area would recognize that immediately. In fact, they can tell you what end of the bridge that is and stuff like that. So,
great shot.
This is looking back down into San Francisco. So this is the north end, in case anybody's curious. But yeah, so don't have the generic gray box there.
Yeah.
Right, Liz? That's the point.
Yes.
Have something. And what I try to tell people is, and John, this would work for you too, take it to the next level. Take that thing over to Canva or some editing software, whatever you've got, whether that be Paint or Photoshop or you can always hire somebody to do it if you really want to, but it would be cool to put in there customer service manager in the Bay Area. Just like right here. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes.
So we talk about that almost every time we pull one of these up, right? I mean, almost everybody. That's a universal truth. So I'm going to let you look at the next section here.
Yeah. So I would say, John, right under your name, I know we talked about this the other week, Ira. You could put it above customer service manager or just at the end. And I know you have open to work already. Put your contact info. You can put your phone number, your email, so people can just reach out very quickly instead of having to sift through or wait to get a resume. Again, the more visibility you can give yourself, the better. So market yourself, put your contact info right there under your title. So email, phone number, one or the other or both, I think would be really effective. So
yeah, the other thing that I've seen some people doing, Liz, and I've been waiting to talk to you about this because I actually don't know how I feel about it yet.
Yeah.
But one thing I see in the headlines more and more is hashtags.
Yes.
And so I don't know, like the open to work frame, we've talked about this. I'm actually fine with it because it does signal a lot of people know what it means. Now, when it was new, I didn't really like it, but now that it's been around for quite a while. I'm cool with it. You know, like I know what that means. It means you're looking to hire.
Yeah.
And, you know, there for a while on LinkedIn, I had the purple frame because I was hiring.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But hashtags, I think what I think about hashtags right now is it's not for job seekers. It's more for like entrepreneurs or business owners, and they're trying to promote a hashtag that they want to build up.
Right.
Like that's how I think about it. I don't know. With posts, I get it, right? And even John says, you know, hashtags with posts looking for new opportunities. Totally agree, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's cool. But in the headline, I think what you just said about, you know, adding contact information would be much more powerful use of, because you are character limited there.
Yep.
So, but the other thing is, for me, I would use every single one of those characters for keywords that you know employers are searching for people that they're hiring for a position. Let's say it's customer service manager, just because that's the first one he's got there, right? What other things do they search for other than customer service manager? Like, what other ways do they say it? And maybe it's skills. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like put the keywords that would be found most commonly in the job description. I think the JDs, a lot of people overlook that when it comes to LinkedIn. It's like, well, people, they don't know John Roach for the most part. They're not going to be searching for John Roach. What they're going to search for is somebody with John Roach's skills. What are those?
Yeah.
And to that point, whatever doesn't fit here in the headline, then we should definitely see it down here in the skills and endorsements. Now, I've endorsed John because I know him. Like I said, I've worked with him, right? So I've endorsed him for all these. But John, I don't know if you and I went through these. Like, you know, what should be here that isn't here, right? Like 100%. I know management because he used to be a general manager, right? So I'm going to endorse that right now. But anyways, these, a lot of times these have the wrong stuff, right? Like, John, unless you're continuing to want to work in the print business, you might want to swap some of these out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, again, this is something you and I have talked about. It needs to be forward facing.
Yeah.
Because if these skills help you with the blueprint market, but not with the job you're going to have,
right?
It's not as helpful.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you've done in the past can be in the recommendations and can also obviously be found in the work history, experience history, right?
Yeah.
But
also, I was just going to say, John, to Ira's point, under your title and your, your profile picture, because titles can vary, of course, by industry. I would research it, like, for example, customer success or relationship manager.
Yeah. See, now you're saying what I was trying to say, right? Like, there's other ways to say it.
Right.
And people might look for a success manager or customer relations manager. And if you have customer service, you may or may not come up. And even if you do, you're probably kind of down at the bottom where they're never going to get to you, right? You want to be on the first page up at the top. I mean, that's really where you want to be.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So,
well, we've given him some stuff there.
Yeah.
Let's look at his about section real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first thought here, Liz, is it's really short.
Yes. I'm going to say the same thing. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you read that? Is it big enough for you to read?
Yes, I can read it. Yep.
Okay. So if you want to give him some feedback there.
Yeah. So it is, so definitely needs to expand on the about section here. I don't know the exact number of characters. Maybe you know, Ira, that you can.
3,000. It's 3,000.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
It's certainly. It's honestly too many.
Yeah.
But you got. I mean, what do you got there? Like 400, maybe 500, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could do this, John, times 6 and be okay. I'll tell you the thing that I'd like to tell people here, Liz, is that for my money, I want about section kind of to be like what we were talking about with Mariella. Is let's talk about now and paint a picture moving forward. Let's not worry so much about the past, with the exception of, I do like if you've won awards or you have quantifiable things, like for California Survey and Drafting Supply, I worked with John there. Okay. I won Salesman of the Year in the print market for year-over-year growth. I had growth rate of 73% year-over-year. And so when I was looking for sales positions, I would have that statistic there because it's a trophy and it's a hard number. So it shows that I'm good at what I do, and then it quantifies why I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
So people don't have to ask like, hey, are you really good at sales? Like they can see something tangible, and that's something in an interview, you know, like when they're validating my references, that's something that they can ask somebody who works there, like, hey, did Ira really win this award? Yeah, he did. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I think should go in about. But other than that, I don't want it to be too much on the past, especially if it's on a position that is not related to what you're trying to do. Too many people are telling us about the past stuff, which we can see in your education and your experience. We can see where you worked and where you went to school, but you don't need to tell it 17 times. Right?
Yeah.
So especially if you want to do a career pivot.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why would you be good at this? Why do you want to do this? This is a great place to address that, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the only other thing I would add, and that those are great points, but John, turn it into, or try to, bring some of your, like a story, your personal side to who you are. The ones that really get my attention in the about section are really humanize the person behind what they do. So you can really get a sense of who they are. Of course, the like Ira's point with the achievements and quantifiable results, definitely put in there, but also a little bit more about yourself, because you want to get someone's interest, who you are outside of the resume, outside the LinkedIn profile, your personality. So weave some of that in there also.
And John's personality, he's super cool. Think like totally mellow, calm, strategic, like that's his personality, and I think that would go good there. And John, you didn't hit the limit here. The about section is huge, but I will tell you guys this is something a lot of people don't know. Your app on your phone or your tablet is different than your desktop. So sometimes if you run into a character limit, just switch devices, go to your laptop or go to your phone, and you can pick up sometimes more characters that way. But no, the limit there is much bigger. My about section is twice that long, so I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's saying thank you, Liz. Everybody likes Liz, including me. Liz is awesome. Okay, one last tip here, John, and this is not really a strike against you. A lot of people don't have this yet, but you're missing out on an advantage. There's the feature section, which is relatively new. So, and that's one of the things that we want you to do when you come on the show. We want you to chop that portion up where we're talking to you and put that right there in front of the featured section so that people can see you on video. So, but here is where in the featured section, like you would put pictures of you out at events with customers, or, because John's been the general manager of these big shops, these big print shops. He did it for like 30 years, right? So, you have pictures of you that other people have taken in front of these machines and stuff. That would be cool to see. And then I always like to tell people, like, have some lifestyle shots too. So you become a human being. So you have, awards and certificates. You have a video of you, so they get an idea of your personality. They see you in your environment, and then they see like maybe one with you at Golden Gate Park, or at a concert or something like that. Because I know John likes music and stuff. So, anyways, those kinds of things can really help.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's my friend and former coworker, John Roach, and I'm going to copy his link right now, which is Free Roach, which is really funny.
Free Roach.
Yeah. So find John here. I'm just saying it so I don't do another Mariella mistake.
Yeah, and hopefully next week he can join us live on video. Ira, once he gets his video up.
Super cool. He's one of the coolest cats you're ever going to meet, online or in person. John is super cool. My boss in Texas, his name is Pat Vermillion, and Pat is the one who introduced me to John in person. And, you know, both Pat and I, you know, really respect John. I mean, just to the 10th degree. So anyways, thank you very much. You're awesome. And she says, I will need your help with the video. No problem, Mariola. You got it. I will work on that for you, and I'll send you the final cut. And I don't mind doing that. Like, you know, people come on the show. It's hard to do it. And that's why a lot of people just have us do their profile reviews and don't come on the show, because it is. But I'm going to tell you, it's important for you as job seekers. And Liz, you can talk about this in a second, but it's important to get comfortable with video, because even with COVID going away, I don't think the video interviews are going away. It's just they can book a lot more interviews back to back to back now. So you know, everybody should be. The expectation is your camera ready.
Yes. And you know, exactly, Ira. It's here to stay. And I think what's happened this past year with the virtual environment, that people have become more confident on video because of Zoom. So it's in many ways helped many people just feel more comfortable doing video interviews. There's so many different types that are out there. So
you may have noticed I changed the view, and I did that because I want to go into your new segment. And I don't know if we're going to call it, you know, This Week with Liz or whatever it's going to be called.
I like that name.
I kind of like that. But anyways, it's going to be like, let's figure a 5-minute segment, and we're going to do it each week. And so I'll plan on trying to hit it about 45 minutes after the hour each week, if you guys are looking for, just to find the tip. So anyways, whatever we're going to call it, I'll make a graphic. We'll get some music. We'll do it upright.
Yeah.
But for this very first time, do you have something? And I have your website loaded. I'm ready to bring it up if you want, if that will help. For those of you who don't know, Liz owns EBC Associates. So you can find that on the web at ebassociates.net. I will put that link here in the comments too, which I know Facebook is going to bark at us, but it does the same thing for Project Help You Grow. So I wish Facebook would quit being antisocial on social media and let us share our links to our websites. But here, find Liz. Company here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm doing that. You give us your tip, and I don't know if you want me to go somewhere on this or.
Well, you can. I don't know how much time we have, but you can navigate. Who we are. I've got some insights, some articles. There's a direct link to contact us there on the right, so you can reach out and just have your resume. Send your resume, even if you don't see a job that's aligned with your background. Definitely reach out. We'll always take a conversation with you, even if we don't have something today that matches your background, and we can help connect you to a company that you're targeting, to an industry. So definitely reach out. Don't be limited by what you might see on the job board.
Let me ask you this, Liz. You work with job seekers, like as a headhunter, and with companies looking for. So you work with either side.
With either side, yes, and that's how the networking group, Ira, has very organically evolved for both business owners looking to connect as well as job seekers, because I think it's as high as, Ira, it's 80% of jobs are not posted, that hidden job market. So and I think what's the other thing about the job search is there's no like one way to go about doing it. It's multiple different ways you can apply, you can network, you can do your marketing branding through LinkedIn, your profile. So there's like a whole many different ways to go about. There's no sort of one direct route. So when you combine all of these pieces together, it's really powerful. And I think also today, especially, we always need to keep building our brand, and keep selling ourselves. Yeah.
What you just said, I tell that to company business owners all day, every day. Like my meetings, that's what I'm like. They don't understand the power of LinkedIn. A lot of people are still thinking it's just for getting hired. I'm like, no, you have to be on LinkedIn whether you're looking for a job or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're in business or you're an employee, you should keep branding. What you just said, all of it, It's super helpful. You can find new clients. You can make relationships. So when you do want to switch, or, maybe, what did you say? 80% of jobs are not going to be listed on a job board in the secret space. But how do they fill those positions, Liz? Because we meet you somewhere else and we go, I know the perfect person.
Yep, exactly.
For that role.
Yeah. So when you combine, applying directly and networking and branding yourselves, you put all those pieces together, then it's very powerful. But you have to have all those touch points today. So
what's really funny is the more premium jobs, the C-level jobs, the director level jobs, those are the ones that are more likely not to be listed too. So
exactly.
Because why? A lot of people don't understand that. Why don't they list C-level jobs? And the reason is because they don't want to show instability, right? They want to present a strong leadership team, not only internally, but also externally for, stock and for, employees to stay. For both reasons, you don't want to show that there's any instability of the company. That's why sometimes companies, even family-owned companies, will be sold and they won't necessarily let their employees know right away.
Right.
As the transition happens, they don't want people to bail.
Yeah, exactly. And they also sometimes may already have somebody pegged, for that job at that higher level. They'll promote someone internally, so it's a whole. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So,
and then you also have the situation where they don't want to internally promote, and they don't want somebody to be offended. You know what I mean? Like they didn't advertise the job, so I didn't get my heart set on being the new director of sales because I've been on the sales team for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that happens, right? Like people get like, why wasn't I considered for this position? Yeah. And then you don't have to address that question.
Yeah.
All right. So
should we answer John's question here?
Yeah, we should. I think this is a really good question. I'm gonna let you go first with it.
Yeah. So there's some companies, John, that don't require or say, oh, don't bother, we never read them. But my 2 cents is I think it's important because it shows how you communicate, how you write, and it also if you write a good, well-written cover letter, why you're even interested in that company, and that can make such a difference. And I think it's super important. Why are you even applying here? What interests you about the company? So I remember Google put out an article, Ira, about a year ago saying, don't waste your time with cover letters. We never read them, but I think they are important. My 2 cents, and again, for those reasons. So I do recommend them.
Yeah, here's my default answer.
Okay.
The default answer is cover letters are extremely important. The only caveat to that, my exception to that, is when the job description specifically says do not do something, then I will not.
Yes.
Right? So, like, for example, my default, and we've talked about this before too, I believe, my default resume and cover letter format is Word. And I get a lot of stink eye when I say that because people expect you to say PDF. The reason why I don't use PDF as the default is because some of the legacy ATS programs, far too many, frankly, don't have the OCR capability on a PDF. And so then, unless the human will go in and fix it for you, which they won't always, then you look like you submitted a blank resume and you don't make the interview. So I'm trying to give myself a higher chance. But some of those job descriptions specifically call out a PDF. Some of them actually still call out text files. And you're like, what the heck? Why would you work that? But that's why. It's because of the OCR in the ATS. So cover letter, because most companies are using an ATS, you're getting a score, a cumulative score that will be ranked against everybody else. Let's just take my little example of 3 days I had the job description on, and I got 200 resumes. Okay. I didn't read all 200. I can't. That's too much. You understand?
Yeah.
So how do you figure out who you're going to read and who you're not going to read? Well, I didn't have any automation, so I did it the way I figured out to do it. It was a manual process. But a lot of these companies, what they'll do is they'll filter it through an ATS. So if you apply with just a resume, John, your score can only come from the resume. But if you apply a cover letter, you can pick up bonus points. So you could have 2 identical candidates apply, one resume only, one resume plus cover letter. The person with the cover letter might get a couple extra points from the cover letter, and now they made the cut and you didn't. That's why I think cover letters are so important, because it applies to both the human element and to the artificial intelligence element, which, you know, it is what it is. So give yourself a fighting chance, a puncher's chance to make that interview. That's why I think cover letters are so important, on top of everything that Liz already said, because I agree with that 100% too. Especially, you know, when you have a gap, why haven't you worked for a year, or why are you back on the market? You know what I mean? Like, what's well, John has a compelling story on why he's available, but if you don't write the cover letter, you're not really
right.
You know,
exactly. That's a good point.
And then again, with the ageism, just like in an interview question, I say, be prepared for that 5-year answer. Like, you are 60-ish, or, you know, in your 50s, you can expect you're going to get that 5-year question every single time. How strong is it if you answer that question before you even get there in the cover letter? You paint a picture, like Mariella said, she's planning on working at least another 15 years. Okay. Well, you put that in the cover letter, then I don't even have to ask that question. Plus, I already know that you're not looking to retire next year, so it can help me alleviate. When I see your education's from 1979 or 1986, you're obviously, you know, a little bit older. And, you know, whether people want to or not, it is one of the things that they're going to think about is, well, how much longer, you know, because onboarding is expensive.
Hiring is expensive. Absolutely. It's, you know, it's an investment, and it's, so those are great points you bring up. So I hope that helps you out, John. And, great suggestions.
And cover letters. Let's talk about this real quick too, because it's so important. Cover letters and resumes. What's the number one mistake you see people making with both on these templates?
So John, when you say you have a template, I mean, that's fine, but hopefully you're creating it, you know, specific to each company or job. Now, what you can do is you can have a generic intro. It's more of I call it a marketing brochure, right? So if you're targeting a number of companies in the same industry, and you're going after more of those informational interviews, you can put this together, and you open the cover letter with a general market statement. So again, it's not about you. Don't go into the cover letter talking about yourself. You want to talk about something industry specific. It shows your knowledge, what's happening in, I don't know, sustainability, or, you know, we can only use COVID as how has business changed with COVID. So open the cover letter with this statement, get their attention, because you want to, you know, relate to that hiring manager, and then go into a couple of your achievements and end with a call to action. So it's just three very concise, succinct pieces to that. And again, you can do those generic. You can have a generic one with that approach, and then of course tailor it to specific companies. But it's really super effective. You know, you want to get their attention. Talk about them first. It's always about them, not yourself, because you want to help them solve their problem. And you want to show them you understand what's happening in their industry on a big picture level. Does that make sense?
Looks like John's already got this one locked down. But for everybody watching, like, this is the number one issue that I see, and Liz has just like crushed this answer. So I'm just going to add it for the resume too. A lot of times what will happen is you'll use a template, or you'll hire somebody, which is probably more common, to help you write your resume. And then you think, well, look, I just hired a resume writer, $250 or $500 or $1,000, whatever you paid. And they're a professional. So I'm just going to use that same one every single time. And instead you want to do what Liz just said, use it as, you know, a master resume or a master cover letter, but then you have to keyword adjust. That's how you that's how you get your points. You want to take the exact words that they used in the job description and pull the words out that are similes. They're like the words that you use, but they're a little bit different usually, and swap them out. So then you get the keyword matches, and that's the main thing that I just wanted to add for resumes and cover letters. Definitely make sure that you are massaging them for each one. There is no one size fits all resume anymore. I always tell the anecdote that I used to go to Kinko's, open my briefcase, pull one out, hand it to the person behind the counter and say, I need 250 of these things, and I would hit the street and try and find a job. But those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Right? Every single one of these, we're doing sniper fire here, not skeet shoot. And that's really what we want to make sure people understand.
Right.
Liz, we're already at time.
I know this hour goes by so quick. I was just thinking, Ira, on that note, cover letters, resumes. What a lot of people have been, of course, doing this past year is pivoting into a different industry, a different skill set. We could cover that next week.
Yeah.
Because there are so many transferable skills that you can identify and angle, like you were saying.
Topic. We can make that the theme of the show, because like John actually is kind of in this position that he's in because the market, the industry, the vertical market changed, and it wasn't anything to do with COVID. It was all about things went digital. So reprographics, if you're familiar with that term, large format construction documents for the most part, were required by the county and the city and the state, and everything had to be stamped, drawn by an architect, signed off by engineers, filed with the governing bodies. And so people used to spend tens of thousands of dollars for these major projects, on blueprints. And over the course of 15 years, that market just kind of whittled itself down to, it's not gone, but it's much, much less. So a lot of those people in that industry have had to kind of like move on or do what you just said, pivot.
Yeah.
To something else, myself included. For the longest time, I sold the equipment. That's how I made my living, the supplies and service. That's how I got in the print business, was selling the equipment that was running those devices. So anyways, knowing how to pivot is ultra important. We could talk about it all next week. I think we should. I do want to get to Nicole's, unless you've got to jump. But Nicole says she's never sent a cover letter and wouldn't know where to begin. Maybe we could make that a tip for a future, Liz segment, because how to format a cover letter. First of all, I will tell you, Nicole, that I have an article on Project Help You Grow that's about this topic. In fact, I'm going to pull it up real quick so people can see it. Project Help You Grow is my website. It's my philanthropy. It's free. You guys don't need to sign up for anything or create an account. Unless you want to increase your visibility, then by all means you can do that. But right here, I have an article on cover letter strategy. And I'm going to put this in find the cover letter strategy. Here. So I'm putting this right now in the notes, right? So you can click on that and get to this. So that's free. If you've never written a cover letter, it'll give you some pointers on what to do. And Mariella had talked about the Chipotle.
Oh yeah, Chipotle. Yeah.
So she put it up there too. So my wife's, it's like her favorite burrito is.
Yeah, I know.
At Chipotle. So whoever hacked them probably has my credit card information.
I know, you and me both, Ira. We like Chipotle, so it's it's scary hearing all the hacks and all that. So I have to say, Mariella, your skills are really in demand, because
I'm surprised she's still available. I got to tell you, I think the only reason she's still available, frankly, is because of her age. Because
and I'm going to connect with her, Ira, because I have some contacts I'm going to connect her with. So
awesome, because I would love to find her a job like right now. But the thing with Mariella that a lot of people they're not thinking about, because I know people in fraud protection, fraud and risk in the IT space, they're usually not very personable. But Mariella has really good interpersonal skills. So she's not only good at her job, she's good at communicating to the whole team. And I think that she would make a heck of a mentor for the generation coming up. So you bring her on, she can give you her ROI immediately with her skills.
Yeah.
But she can also set your company up for future by training these whippersnappers.
Yeah. And she's got and also Ira, she's got the languages, which is so huge. And every, the global, the global reach in doing business now is
French,
here to stay.
Italian, German, Greek, and English.
Yeah, amazing. I mean,
you can speak with all of Europe, basically.
Yeah.
And anybody globally who speaks English. So if you're running, a service, fraud and risk service, internationally, she's again.
Yeah, that languages are a huge plus always. So I'm going to definitely connect with her, Ira. So hopefully we'll get her something soon.
Yeah, and she's somebody that, like I said, I have actually worked with her on projects. I can speak to her technical savvy. She actually can back up what she says she can do. I've seen it firsthand. She's helped me with several the Project Help You Grow website she's helped me with. She's helped me with Bowman Digital Media, and she's helped a few of my client sites. So like I said, I've seen her in action. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, this was awesome.
Any last thoughts before we buzz out of here for the week?
I think we covered quite a bit of things today. I think I don't think anything specific. Hopefully this was helpful for whoever is still here. And again, this whole process is really just marketing and selling yourself. So
It's a lot of it. It's why I think I'm good at this particular type of show, because I have a sales background and a marketing background, and I brought you in because obviously you help people on the front and the back, whether they're a job seeker or an employer. So I just thought you were the perfect fit.
Yes.
To be my co-host. Did you like your video? Your video?
I did. I loved it. Thank you. It's so great. Thank you so much. I loved it.
We'll make something like that for your segment as well.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I love it. And Ira, by this time next week, we're going to have the title, whether it's the Liz segment or whatever Mariella said. We're going to come up with something.
Tip of the week.
Tip of the week. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what we're trying to do. I don't know if it's that simple, but something along those lines. I just think, if people are watching this week in and week out, I want them to get something new every single week.
Yep. And I have plenty of tips that I've pulled together over the years. So we'll do that.
I want to talk just for a quick second. My thought that I wanted to talk to people about, and I made a post about it. If you are applying to jobs for a company, like let's say you have a dream company that you want to work for. I'm just going to say Bowman Digital Media because I don't want to offend anybody, right? So you want to work for Bowman Digital Media. And you notice we put out a job listing and you apply for the job and you don't hear anything from them. But then you're following them, right? So then you see again next month or 6 weeks later, they post the same job again. Should you apply? And my thought to that is yes, you should, but you shouldn't apply the same way that you did before because you obviously didn't make the cut. Right? You didn't even get to the interview round. So here's what I'm thinking. You probably had a hole in your resume strategy. Maybe you just went up against a bunch of competition and they scored more points, right?
Yep.
So maybe you need to spend a little bit more time with the keyword matching and doing some of that. Maybe you didn't do a cover letter. And we've talked about cover letter a lot today. So maybe you need a cover letter. Maybe, you used one size fits all type of a deal. And maybe also another thing, and we haven't talked about this really that much on the show yet. So this is something for us to consider for future, but the power of the referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Find yourself some internal referrals. And this is where the networking component can be huge here.
Yeah.
Is, Bowman Digital Media is pretty small. I got nine people on my staff now, right? So, there's 9 of us. So there's not a lot of people for you to meet and say, hey, who can introduce me to the owner, which happens to be me, right? But in some of these companies, it's really, really big. Like you mentioned Google earlier, so we'll just go Google, right? Like if you want to get hired as a marketing person, or let's say Mariella for fraud and risk at Google, that's a little bit probably more daunting. But if you can meet people in Google who would give you what's called an internal referral,
yes,
now you can maybe bypass some of those ATS problems that you were having with the last round.
Yep.
And get straight to the interview round because they have an internal referral.
Yeah.
So hopefully those thoughts will help those that struggle with that. But that was a question that I got on Project Help You Grow. A post I made. I said, hey, what's something that you guys are struggling with? And they're like, I see this job that I want posted repeatedly, but I'm not getting the interview. So that's what got me on to that.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And yeah, I see that too. And it kind of makes you wonder, okay, why is it taking so long to find the person and all that? But to your point, try to get referred in, and keep in mind too, the internal employees, oftentimes companies have incentives.
Right.
So if they refer someone, the employee gets a bonus, a $2,000 bonus or $500 or something. So it's worth your time to take it a step further and connect with that person and get to know about the company, the culture, why do they like working there, build that relationship, because then if they refer you, it's much more powerful than just coming through the computer system. So yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too, like people like Liz and Ira, if you know us personally, right? I'm not just saying you're connected to us and we've never talked to you or met with you, but if you know somebody like us that has a larger network, and you don't know anybody, let's just go back to Google for a moment. You don't know anybody who works at Google, but you want to work for Google. One of the things that you could start to do is look for people like us and say, hey, do you happen to, because I don't know anybody directly that works there. Do you know anybody that works there? And sometimes I can make an introduction to you and go, well, I know so-and-so. And, and so network smart. If you're a job seeker, this is your job, is to find a job. So that's the kind of stuff, like when I say network, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Like figure out who you want to work for and then make friends with people who work there, or make friends with people who are friends with people that work there, and get yourself connected. It'll help you. I promise you it'll help you. Almost every single time somebody makes a reference, they know me and they refer somebody to me, I at least will look at the resume. I'm not saying I'll interview them all, but at least they're going to get a human being to actually look at the resume and consider it. So your odds obviously are better that way.
Yeah. No, great points. But well, this has been great. And let's see, one last comment.
This is almost always true, in my opinion, Mariella. But that's another topic for another day.
That's another topic. Hold that thought, Mariella. We'll cover that next week. And
I could fill a whole show about that.
I know we could do. Yes, we will hold that thought, Mariella, for sure. But yes, good point.
Liz, I want you to have a fabulous Friday. I will not actually be at WBS Rocks, in full disclosure, tomorrow, because I'll be on a fishing boat with my boys.
We will miss you. I will be there tomorrow. I've missed past couple of weeks, but I will definitely be there tomorrow. So I'm
tell everybody I'm thinking of them. I really appreciate the stuff that they do for me, and hopefully I'm doing stuff for them. Like I said, I'm excited. I was gonna be so excited to talk about Ingor tomorrow.
Amazing. Is she? I wonder if she's going tomorrow. Maybe I'll see her tomorrow. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So she's gonna be busy writing, so I don't know.
She's gonna be busy now. Well, enjoy the fishing, Ira. That's so awesome. I can't wait to see pics.
Yeah. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, follow me there, because I don't put a lot of pictures on LinkedIn, but I put the good ones on Instagram. Yeah. So they'll be there. Liz, thank you so much. I'm about to play your video, Liz.
Okay.
Boom. Cool. All right, y'all. Thank you. We will see you. Look, we hope you join us next week. Join us next week. Come ready to be on the video. Join John. Do what Mariella did. It won't hurt. Yeah. And it might actually help you get hired faster, because I don't know if you know, but Liz has a big network on LinkedIn, and I have a big network on LinkedIn, and we're also on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. So we're all over the place.
All over. And I have some other people that I know would want to be on video, so I'm gonna recruit them for next week, Ira. So
tell them to come on the show. It's an easy way to get the video done. Plus, look, if I want to do a video, I want to be seen. Join other people with large networks on LinkedIn is a smart play. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Well, awesome. Well, enjoy, Ira. Have a great evening too, and we'll see everyone here next week.
Yeah, and in the meantime, don't forget to comment and be visible with Liz and with me all over social media, where you post pretty much every day. So do I. So if you guys want some extra exposure, come on our posts, and we appreciate the love, and we'll try and help you out too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week, Thursday.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thursday.
guys. Thanks, Ira.
You're welcome. See ya.